Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. Let me start with a simple question. Have you ever changed your mind about something and realized that one decision altered the course of your life? Think about it. Maybe it was a career choice you reconsidered, a relationship you decided to nurture or walk away from, or even a belief you held for years until you saw the world differently. Changing your mind can be terrifying, but it can also be the most empowering thing you'll ever do. Tonight, I want to talk about why changing your mind isn't a sign of weakness. It's not inconsistency or failure. It's growth, it's courage, and, ultimately, it's how you change your life. Let's start with the truth. Our minds are powerful tools, but they can also trap us. We hold on to ideas, beliefs, and habits that no longer serve us because letting go feels too hard. We cling to comfort zones because stepping outside of them feels like jumping off a cliff. But here's the thing, when you refuse to change your mind, you stay stuck, and staying stuck is a far greater risk than taking that leap of faith. Let me tell you a story. It's about a man named Daniel. Daniel was stuck in a dead-end job he hated. Every day, he'd wake up, drag himself to work, and count down the hours until he could leave. He'd complain to his friends about how miserable he was, but whenever someone suggested he try something new, he'd say, "I can't. I've been doing this for too long. It's who I am." Sound familiar? How often do we tie our identities to the things we do rather than who we truly are? Daniel was trapped, not because of his job, but because of his mindset. He was afraid to change his mind about what was possible for him. But one day, something happened. He came across a quote that said, "The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the story you keep telling yourself." Let me repeat that for you. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the story you keep telling yourself. That hit Daniel like a lightning bolt. He realized he'd been telling himself the wrong story for years. So, he decided to change his mind. He quit his job and pursued a career he'd always dreamed of but never thought was realistic. It wasn't easy, far from it, but it was worth it. Today, Daniel runs his own business, and he wakes up every morning excited about life. What's the lesson here? It's simple. Change your mind, and you can change your story. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but what if I fail? Yes, the fear of failure, the ultimate barrier to change. Let me tell you something about failure. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. Think about every great inventor, entrepreneur, or artist. Do you know how many times they failed before they succeeded? Countless times. But they didn't let failure define them because they had the courage to change their approach, their perspective, their minds. Here's an example you've probably heard before. Thomas Edison, when asked about his many failed attempts to invent the light bulb, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Imagine if he had given up after the first try, or the 100th. The point is, failure is not the end, it's a stepping stone. And the only way to move forward is to be willing to change your mind about what failure means. It's not defeat, it's feedback. Sometimes, changing your mind means letting go of deeply held beliefs, and that's hard. Maybe you grew up believing that you had to follow a certain path to be successful, a degree, a job, a family, a house. But what if that path doesn't make you happy? Are you willing to rewrite the script? Let me share another story. This one's personal. A few years ago, I believed I had to be perfect to be loved. I thought that if I showed any weakness or vulnerability, people would judge me. So, I built walls around myself. I pretended everything was fine, even when it wasn't. But guess what? Those walls didn't protect me. They isolated me. It wasn't until I changed my mind about what it meant to be strong that I finally found real connection. Strength isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity. It's about saying, "I'm not okay right now, but I'm working on it." I changed my mind, and it changed my life. And I know it can change yours too. So, how do you do it? How do you change your mind when it feels impossible? First, question your beliefs. Ask yourself, why do I think this way? Is this belief helping me? or holding me back? Sometimes, we inherit beliefs from our families, cultures, or past experiences without ever questioning them, but not every belief serves you. Second, embrace uncertainty. Changing your mind means stepping into the unknown, and that's scary. But growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens when you're willing to take risks, make mistakes, and learn from them. Third, surround yourself with people who challenge you. If everyone in your life thinks exactly the way you do, you'll never grow. Seek out people with different perspectives. Listen to them, learn from them, and finally, be kind to yourself. Changing your mind doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. You'll have setbacks. You'll doubt yourself. But that's okay. Progress isn't linear. It's messy. And that's what makes it beautiful. Tonight, I want to challenge you. Think about one belief, one habit, or one story you've been holding on to that no longer serves you. Maybe it's the belief that you're not good enough, or that it's too late to start over, or that success means following someone else's definition of happiness. Whatever it is, I want you to question it. I want you to ask yourself, what if I changed my mind? Because here's the truth. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not the story you've been telling yourself. You are whoever you decide to be, starting right now. So, what's stopping you? Fear, doubt, the opinions of others. Let me tell you something about fear. It's a liar. Fear will tell you that you're not ready, that you're not capable, that you'll never succeed. But fear isn't the enemy. It's a sign that you're on the brink of something great. Feel the fear, but don't let it stop you. Change your mind anyway. If there's one thing I want you to take away from tonight, it's this. You have the power to change your life, but it starts with changing your mind. So, go out there and rewrite your story. Question your beliefs. Embrace the unknown. Surround yourself with growth. And most importantly, be brave enough to change your mind when it matters most. Because when you do, you won't just change your life, you'll change the world.